Hello, you guys. I hope everyone's having a good morning. I'm bringing you some news that I find very interesting because, in my opinion, this ruling is really awesome because I'm frankly really sick and tired of our religious beliefs and our, you know, promise to Christ to try to do right is being trampled on because people who don't believe what we as Christians believe want us to bend over backwards and go against our Lord Jesus Christ for their comfort. So this woman refused in Colorado to do some web designing for a same-sex couple for their wedding, and they've been in court ever since. Why not just go to someone who doesn't have the same religious beliefs as she does, as Mrs. Smith does? Why not go to someone who is okay with doing that design for a same-sex wedding? You know, if we go into the Bible, they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah, right? And everything that was going on. And both of those places, Sodom and Gomorrah, were destroyed because of what was happening there. And that is just one example. A marriage in the Bible is between a man and a woman. And, you know, people can do what they want to do because we all take our own sins to God. We all have to face Him alone with the things that we have done. We all have to ask for forgiveness and repent and really mean it and never go back to that again. So if we want to try to do what's right and what is asked of us in the Bible, I can see her position of not wanting to work for their marriage. I mean, you know, not do any web designing for their marriage, because that would be accepting money for something that, as a Christian, we're not supposed to engage in. Now, I think that same-sex relationships, those people, they deserve a safe place to live. They deserve employment. We can't discriminate against them in all, you know, regular walks of life, like, you know, schooling and employment, housing, all of those things. They are human beings too. And they deserve protection and love just like everyone else. Believe me, being a Black person, a person of color, I understand how it is, you know, to wonder, okay, why didn't they want to do this, you know, job for me? Or why are they following me around? You know, there's a lot of discrimination, but I haven't ever read in the Bible that, you know, having black skin, brown skin, red skin would cause you to be automatically looked at like you're going to steal something, like you're going to do something wrong, like you don't have a right to sit at a table and eat, or go into a hotel, or to go into a store and buy something that you know, this is different, you guys. This is different. Yes, we all sin every single day. Yes, we do. Sometimes I have a bit of rage when I'm driving. I use bad words. But, you know, and I do other things that are not right. but this is serious. We cannot force people to go against their religious and their Christian beliefs to make other people comfortable. It's not right. So let me read to you an article from the Today Show. The Supreme Court leans toward web designer over refusal to work on same-sex weddings. So the Supreme Court is leaning towards the web designer. The justices are considering whether web designer Lorie Smith, a conservative evangelical Christian, has a free speech right that trumps Colorado's anti-discrimination law. Conservative Supreme Court justices on Monday appeared sympathetic toward an evangelical Christian web designer's bid to avoid working on same-sex weddings as they weighed the latest clash between religious conservatives and LGBTQ rights. But after 2.5 hours of arguments that included a broad array of tough hypothetical questions directed at both sides, involving far-fetched scenarios like a black Santa at a shopping mall refusing to serve children dressed in Ku Klux Klan outfits, it is unclear how exactly the court, which has a 6-3 conservative majority, will rule. Lorie Smith, who opposes same-sex marriage on religious grounds and runs a business in Colorado designing websites, is seeking an exemption from a state law that outlaws discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation in public accommodations. Smith sued the state in 2016 because she said she would like to accept customers planning opposite sex weddings, but reject requests made by same-sex couples wanting the same service. She argues that as a creative professional, she has a free speech right under the Constitution's First Amendment to refuse to undertake work that conflicts with her own views. Civil rights groups say Smith is asking the conservative majority court for a license to discriminate that would gut public accommodation laws that require businesses to serve all customers. I don't believe that this would affect any public accommodation laws, because they're not asking to sleep over at her house. She doesn't have a bed and breakfast. She doesn't have an Airbnb. She doesn't have a hotel, motel. She's not running a restaurant. She doesn't have a store or a shopping mall. She has a web design business, and it's a creative business. I don't see that as a public accommodation law. That public accommodation law wouldn't fit that, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but let's get back to the article. Justices in the conservative majority seemed generally supportive of the notion that Smith should not be forced to express sentiments to which she disagrees, with Justice Clarence Thomas noting that policing speech was not how public accommodation laws like Colorado's were traditionally applied. I agree. Look, he says the same thing, you guys. This is not a hotel. This is not a restaurant. This is not a riverboat or train, he said, referring to businesses required to serve all customers. Other conservative justices, including Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch, asked similar questions. Kavanaugh asked whether a publishing house that supports abortion rights could refuse to publish a book containing anti-abortion views. Gorsuch queried whether freelance writers could be required to accept commissions expressing views they opposed. Echoing Thomas, Gorsuch said the extension of public accommodation laws to speech was very different than the historical undertaking of public accommodation. But the problem facing the court, if it rules for Smith, is how to determine what kind of other conduct can be exempted from anti-discrimination laws. The court could try to limit the ruling to certain opponents of same-sex marriage, although the legal principle raised in the case extends to all kind of creative businesses that might invoke their free speech rights to reject all manner of customers. Well, they're going to try, they're going to have to, you guys, figure out how to make sure that all manner of customers aren't rejected. Like I said, you see this in the Bible about marriage and what it is defined as. So as a Christian and a believer in Christ, you would want to follow that example. I don't see anything where they can reject, a person based on their color or their sex, female, male, and other little things like that. Liberal justices who seemed more aligned with the state of Colorado came armed with tough questions on whether businesses could refuse to serve Black or disabled customers. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, for example, asked about a photographer who makes custom photos of nostalgic, sepia-toned mid-20th century scenes, but restricts who can appear in the photographs. Precisely because they're trying to capture the feelings of a certain era, their policy is that only white children can be photographed with Santa in this way, because that's how they view the scenes with Santa that they're trying to depict, she said. Jackson asked Smith's lawyer, Kristen Wagner, why that would be different to what her client is seeking. And it goes on and on and on, you guys, about different scenarios. But they're thinking that they're going to go with Miss Smith and, vote on her side. So what do you think, you guys? What do you think about this? Do you think that she should win this case, that she should be exempt? I do. I think so. How can you force someone to do something if you believe in God, you guys, and you want to get to heaven? You want to go to eternity and be there with the Lord Jesus Christ and see the loved ones that, you had in your life again, and just everything that God promises that heaven will be. We sin every day, but would you want to run the risk of doing something like this? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it at all. And remember, you guys, at one point, there was a Catholic church in Philadelphia where they were forced, let's see how it was. They were forced to allow gay couples, same-sex couples, to enter the foster care program. Remember that? So, I don't know, you guys. Hopefully with the conservatives being the majority, we'll have some different outcomes now when it comes to our religious freedoms. Let me know what you think in the comments. Our religious freedoms are being threatened, you guys. What is going on in this world?